So I read that book, When a Friend Dies, a book for teens about grieving and healing. And it's by Marilyn E. Gootman, Ed.D or some whatever that means, some sort of doctor. The foreword is by Michael Stipe, the songwriter and singer of REM. I thought that was kind of cool. That's not why I picked it by any means. When I come home, I was like, no shit. Hey, cool. So I gave it a glance, and yeah, it is definitely meant for, well, for kids, preferably, because it's talking about how you go to school and they're just not there, and does it happen to everybody, and what is loss, what is grief, how long does it last, all your basics, how should I be acting, what if what should you be watching for, like in case you're changing yourself, what's normal, um, how to handle my feelings, that kind of stuff. Um, there's only one that ever, like, I mean, I've lost a lot of people, so, I mean, from a very early age, like, because I had a great grandma that died, like, or great great grandma, one of those other, I think she was great great grandma. And but like, I mean, I remember her by all means, but like, I mean, she would have been like 80. I mean, there's times in a place where some people are gonna die, like, no different than Joe Blow that has cancer and you don't wish him ill, but there are people when, sometimes somebody says and they're like, well, it was good because he was like, hurting or whatever. So it's different when it's in that kind of situation. I think we've all had people like that have died. It's a different kind of grief. Where if it's something quick and like an accident, oh, if they just would have swerved the other way, or somebody that had a heart attack, like Sandra, 39 years old. Like, how do you have a heart attack at 39? Like, she's a healthy person, she worked on a farm. Well, like, I mean, so, or her and her husband had a farm. So, I know that she was healthy and all that. Well, obviously, she had a heart attack. Love you, Sandra. Not sure what that. I never did ask her mom, but, you know, with, um, with this book, the only thing that really got to me is when it was about like suicide, because it's one thing for somebody to die in an accident because you can always put it off to, things could have been different. When somebody chooses to take their life, that is a completely different realm of life because you can never, ever grasp your head around it. Somebody that ODs, they don't necessarily OD, they cough up while they're on their back and it becomes a OD or suicide. They didn't mean to do it, it's a fucking accident, man. So a lot of these, suicide, whatever they're chalking these things up to be, are probably not even proper thing. Because a friend of mine, her son died that way, and she's like, I don't think though they wrote it down as suicide, but she said I don't think it was, because he was found like on his back and he coughed up. Well, shit. I mean, So, but the only thing that read out in this book personally to me, um, because it talks about like if your friend died in an accident or an illness, then some days are only ifs of your mind of helping you control some of it in your life. Um, if your friend died by suicide, it was your friend's decision, not yours. You are not responsible for that decision. You could not control your friend's thoughts or actions any more than anyone else could control yours. Almost all suicide survivors, the ones who are still alive, about after someone else they care about commit suicide, they blame themselves. But no one is to blame for suicide, for not even the person who died. However, that person is responsible for his or her own death. Calling a person responsible is not the same as blaming, and it's just a stating a fact. Almost all suicide survivors wonder, why did the person leave me? It's normal and it's normal to feel objected and abandoned. When people commit suicide, their primary goal is to end their pain. They do not choose to leave us, they choose to leave their pain. They are not thinking rationally. They may never even believe that that the loved ones would be better off, and they are usually mistaken. So sometimes it's hard to think of happy memories when someone commits suicide, but you try to let that final act, Rob. Oh, try not to let that final act of your good time, rob you of the good times together. Try not to think about how your friend died. Focused on how your friend lived. So that was like out of all the book, of course, that was the most important for me. You know, 'cause suicide, yeah, but I don't really same thing. Been there, done that. So it was more than just one little situation. That was a spider web, and the spider got blown, and the web did not hold. And yeah, he had one hell of a spider web. TJ had a very, very big spider web. And when he killed himself, he did do it to prove to us that this is what I'm doing. And, slap you in the face that, it was unfair. And it doesn't come across my mind one or two times a day or anything like that. It comes across like several, like I looked at, because I made him like his little obituary paper and stuff. I made a nice little picture frame for him. But like, I mean, I don't have to look at that. I mean, Spider-Man was his favorite thing, so I got tons of Spider-Man crap around. I don't even need to think of anything. I need to go outside and feel the fresh air and be like, God damn it. We used to play hockey outside, like, like slashing the shit out of each other, like we had such good times, such good times. And that's what I miss. And I totally, totally, totally expected a life of that with him. And there's been no bother looking for anybody else because there's nobody that's compared. Not one person have I met yet has even not even compared to the backbone that TJ had. For a young kid, because he was young, anybody that's under 20 is young. So for a kid, you know, he would have gone so he could have been so powerful, that kid. He just he had a life just like me. When you're born into it and it's a daily struggle, there's just, a time and a place where you're like, you know, it seems like it can never end. My mom was smart enough with me to say that every single day to me after she found out I was suicidal and kid, like, I think I was in grade 7 when she found out. She's like, you know what? Bust your ass, you graduate and get the fuck out of here. That's the only thing she told me. Graduate. She didn't give a shit if I had an A, B, C, D. She said, as long as I'm not an F, could be D too. She was just like, she was adamant about us graduating. I don't know why. Fuck the jobs I worked. You didn't have to be in. Well, it would have helped, but I don't think it would have mattered, but, you know. I did win an award in high school. I won a business award in high school. I am actually really quite smart. So I aced a lot of my classes, but she wanted to make sure that we were okay to get out of this town. So, but anyway, I rambled a little bit too much, but anyway, that's what that book was about. So I recommend it for anybody that knows anybody that had kids or themselves, just something easy, breezy. Like, I mean, it's such an easy book, you know. You can sit at the library and read it. Like, I mean, you don't even take it home. And it's like 86 pages. Or no, it's 106. And then it gives you a bunch of resources in the back, like, so obviously an American Association of Suicidology, preventions, psychiatrists, places to call, like a whole slew of stuff back here. Network for Good, the Random Act of Kindness. So, you know, this is I got from just the local Canadian library in Saskatchewan. So, anyway, that's what that one was about. So I hope you either read it if you need it or not. There we go. There's just a little cap for you. Anyway, have a good night, and yeah, we'll really chat to you later on. I got another book I'm starting right over here too. Okay. Uh, Five things to be. Hey, it was a good day. I got freaking snow here. I'm happier than a pig in shit. I love snow. I hate the cold. So grateful for snow, grateful for snow, grateful for snow, grateful for snow. And Link is grateful for snow. So my dog is even grateful. So, and it was a good day. Can't really complain. So we'll chat to you guys soon. Take care.